This summer I'll be out with my father's band. We've been touring trio most of the year with me and Gene Coy on drums, and that's been a super cool thing. We'll definitely be in Europe over this summer of 2010, and I know we're working on a lot for the fall, maybe getting back to Japan, and some other stuff is in the works, definitely some weekends in the States. But yeah, there's a lot coming up with my dad, and I don't know what Robin's got going on, so we'll see. Oh, nothing too exciting, you know, man. I'm living in LA and trying to make a living as a musician definitely means, you know, if you're doing it, you're playing a large range of music, and that goes from everything from radio commercials that you hear to songwriters' demos and club gigs. You know, I do just about every Monday at Harvell's in Santa Monica with Kirk Fletcher, and you know, lots of stuff going on, but you know, it definitely feels like work a lot of times when you're going into the studios, but it's great with a lot of the great players that are in town. So yeah, tonight we're playing at the world famous Baked Potato is my new band, Funkalotopus, and it's kind of been brought on by playing a lot with the Kirk Fletcher band, where we definitely, you know, those of you that know Kirk, he's just a phenomenal blues guitar player, and that's definitely what he's known for doing, but realizing that he's into so much other music, and as you know, like I've been playing with him, and me and Luke Miller, the keyboard player that's playing, we used to have a kind of acid jazz funk group called New Soul Underground that we started when we were in school. And so we started kind of sometimes incorporating a little bit of those tunes and concepts to Kirk's band, and then having Gene come on board, who I play with in my dad's group, who is, you know, Chicago, funky, all pocket kind of player. It started turning into blues plus. So we were definitely thinking of, you know, you can't ask Kirk Fletcher to not be Kirk Fletcher, because he is the blues. Like, that's what his band is, but how we could still keep some kind of integrity with his group, but get to go on and do some other things that maybe we were more into with, you know, a little more of a 70s fusion, you know, P-Funk kind of vibe to it. So tonight is kind of our maiden voyage. You know, you guys will get to see kind of our first official gig or whatnot. But, you know, we're definitely writing tunes and trying to get things worked out, so maybe we can have a record out by the start of next year. I would just say, you know, to all you guitar players and bass players out there, all of us are, you know, don't ever lose your hunger to keep learning and keep getting better. You know, every year seems to move faster for me as I get older, and I realize what an endless struggle, and a great struggle. I don't mean that in a bad way, but what an endless struggle this music thing is, that it's so never ending. And definitely, you know, think about the things that you like and what you can do to really accomplish that as a player. And then once you feel like you've started to accomplish that, you should definitely have some new goals in mind, man, because you know, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse, kind of. And I think it's just important to know how many great players there are on this planet, just incredible different voices on different instruments, and to keep that in perspective, that there is no greatest, there is no worse, there's just different. And we're allowed to have our opinions with what we love and what we like, but you know, to keep that in perspective when sometimes you get down on yourself. You know I can after a gig where maybe I didn't play the way I wanted to. Oh man, I suck. And you know, man, just keep in perspective. I might have felt like I sucked tonight, but I bet I sounded better than I did 5 years ago. even on my best night. So it's all, you got to realize that it's all perspective. And I know as a player, sometimes it's hard to keep that in mind, but know that it's an endless struggle, and all of us, even some of the greatest players in the world, are still in that struggle.